Tim and I have both gone on record as saying that we really aren't super duper interested in self-publishing. And I know that it's a lot of people's number one choice because they want to have complete control over the product that comes out. And there's a lot of potential gatekeeping that could be happening with the traditional publishing model. It's really hard to get in. I can attest to that firsthand. I've been submitting stories for a little while now. I certainly haven't really even reached a critical mass to say, oh, I am not having the success that I wanted. Like, I've just kind of thrown a few out here and there. And, the rejection stings. And so I can see why it would be really interesting to have this kind of clear path to completion and say, well, shoot, I'll just go do it myself. So we decided, Tim and I, to engage with two different writers who have done this themselves. So in the next 2 weeks, we're going to have back-to-back episodes that are interviews with people who have gone either a hybrid publishing or a complete self-publishing path. I thought it was really important to look into this possibility, as a public service for everybody who listens to the show. Even though Tim and I really aren't interested in it, it is a valuable set of tools that if you want to go that route and if you have the skill to do it that way, then, power to you. You should be able to do it. So we've asked a couple of authors to join us. We're going to have those back to back. And what we're going to talk about in those interviews is really, how'd you do it? How'd you arrive at the decision to do it? And then mostly, what can you help other people, kind of what pitfalls can they avoid, and how can we all get better at this? I have a small history of doing self-publishing. I have self-published on Amazon, but it wasn't fiction. It was how-to books on how to coach flag football. So if you Google winning flag football, or if you search Amazon for winning flag football, you'll see a number of self-published titles that go back into the 2010, 2011 range, I think is when I started publishing those. It was a good way to kind of keep the muscle honed as far as writing goes. And I was, trying to stay active in the football community. I had just left my coaching job and I was sort of feeling the tug there. So it was a good way to bridge that time off for me. And then, of course, I transitioned into developing board games, and that really kept me going creatively. It's not something that I would choose to do for the fiction. I think I need that external validation of an editor or critics or whomever to say, yes, this is literary, this is worthy, this is good. And I fear that if I put the work out myself, that I would lose that filter and I would lose that capability of having the external validation. Now, some people may say, no, you can totally get that otherwise. And, we'll see. We'll see what these authors say. But I just wanted to let everybody know that we are thinking about what's best in mind for you. As we race to close 2024 and open up 2025, self-publishing might be something that you're interested in. So over those next 2 episodes, we're going to be doing a deep dive part 1 and part 2 with 2 interviews that'll help you out. In the meantime, I have been doing more writing, and I feel like I'm approaching my work in a more professional manner. And that's really exciting because when we began the podcast, I was not. And over the last couple of years, through the course of our seasons, I've developed more of a professional sensibility, and I feel really good about it. So I hope that you are gaining some value from the conversations that Tim and I are having, and I hope that you continue to join us into 2025 and beyond as we try to improve our own writing as well as yours. See you next week. Start writing.